Thank you very much. And it's my second time to visit in France. I'm really happy. After I get, I was winner in 2017. Then I get second time I get the opportunity to visit in Geneva for the M-Health conference, and I learned a lot on that conference. And this is more than winning, that we are really gaining a lot of knowledge, and we are transferring knowledge from here to, from Europe to Asia, and Asia to Europe. So we are exchanging our experience, how we are doing these M-Health projects. And these M-Health projects are basically different because people have a different need in different area, different policy, and different technology that we are practicing. I can change it here. Okay, so most of the, regarding this pregnancy, the issues in pregnancy, that all the developing countries have very similar problems. If we go through, I think this might be even in developed countries too. So one of the things is that the beneficiaries, the pregnant mothers, they don't have enough knowledge. That's why the maternity death is high. And then the community, the tradition, that is one of the barriers for even sharing their ideas and learning to each other. Because of their tradition, people are not open to each other in Nepal, even it is in South Asia. And because of the poverty, the lack of hygienic and nutrition food, this is all because of the poverty. So this is the very common problems for developing countries. And the another problem is in basically the infrastructure, because we don't have a motorable road. We don't have a very fast internet network telecommunication systems. So the infrastructure is very important to run the services, to provide the services from city area to rural area. So we have a long distance. So we need to reduce this distance from the technology. And even in the health facilities, there is a lack of equipments. There are doctors, and there are the doctors, but there is not a medicine. There are the doctors, but there is not the equipment. So this is happening in developing countries. And in another part of the management, like as we are still working on the paper-based recording and reporting system, and which in an urgency, we cannot take instant decision. So lack of data for the instant decision is another problem. This is the health system. This is the total government health system. So this is the problem with the total government health system. So there are three types of problems that we can see in developing countries. The one is the poverty, lack of systems in the beneficiary side. That is especially on the beneficiary side. And second is the infrastructure, national level infrastructure, and third is the government whole health system. So if we see these all problems are interrelated, it's not like as we have to solve these problems in a simultaneously. If we solve like as we have a good infrastructure, but if we don't have a good applications, we cannot achieve the result. If we have educations, but if we don't have infrastructure, again, we have a problems. So these three problems we have to address at the same time. If we do that, we can show the impact. So this Amakomaya, the mother's love, came in dream with delivering the educational content, the content for pregnant mothers and their family members. What we have established the internet. We have established the internet in almost 300 mountain villages. To walk from one village to another village, it takes like as a 1 day. To access the health facilities, you have to walk for 1 day. For example, what our government is doing, that there is a free ANC visit, antenatal care visit is free, but it is not available in their home. They have to walk 1 day. So what is the meaning by 1 day walking? The meaning is they have to go there and they cannot do their daily home work. They have to leave from their job. It is impossible. For the people who are living in rural area, they have a cattle. They have to prepare the grass for the cattle. They have to go to the farm. And when they will have a time to ANC visit. And government is always forcing the peoples, please, you have to do the visit, you have to do the visits. But this, because of this reason, that there is not ANC visit. We have just only 60% ANC visit and 40% they are not accessing the health facilities. So what we did, we deliver the content in their home. Why you need to do ANC visit? And there are some things that they can understand from the technology. We have a very good FM network, FM radio network. People can hear the radio, and we have a very good television systems, television network. They can watch the television. But you can think we have a very, like it's a composite family. There's a group of family, they are staying in a home and one radio, and always father-in-law is catching that radio. And the mother never get opportunity to listen the message which has been delivering from the government. And the government, how from the perspective of government, how we are thinking that we have broadcasted information through the FM radio, we have broadcasted information through the television, we have developed the posters and everything. But it has not been reached to the beneficiaries. So that's why we make a dream on 2008 or 9 on that part. At that time, we didn't have this Android phone. We had a touch keypad phone which has a mobile, which have a camera facility. So people used to watch music videos on their mobile device. So what we used, we just simply collected videos from the YouTube. Those videos were from the babycenter.co.uk. We downloaded those YouTube videos, we just translated in the local language, and we delivered that videos to the beneficiaries. And this has increased the number of ANC visits. From 60 to 90% that we could achieve 30%, the ANC visit has increased. So this means that, the knowledge has been shared to the pregnant mother, and they knew what future complication will come on her. That's why she made it. Then after that, what happened that we understand, we knew that they have to walk for 1 day. So how to reduce this distance? So to reduce this distance, we need to use the power of internet. So that's why what we did, we established a wireless network. We started to connect each and every villages. And each villages have a primary school. The small primary school where from grade 1 to grade 3 education is given to the kids. And we have connected those schools. And those are around 2 to 3 hours walking distance from their village. And we set up a small telemedicine systems. So the ANC visit can be done from the school. Now we reduce the distance. And we have a female community health volunteers. They are visiting from village to village. They are visiting from door to door. And we make a systems in Android system. We make an Android system. They can connect with the internet. They can download all the data, and they can go to the door of the pregnant mother, and they can show, now you are in this stage. Now you need to check this ANC visit. She can get some of the information she can get from the pregnant mother, and she can sync to the server, and that data can be accessed by the health worker, and those data can be analyzed by the health worker. And this has created a very easy environment for the health worker, so they can learn that, okay, this mother is under risk, this mother is in the risk, and mother is higher risk. Now she can be. It is a responsibility of government that to provide them safe delivery, safe system. So at least government have information now. This specific mother in the risk, if the government can get, anyhow the government can do the things. But at that time, we didn't have information for government. But once we make these systems, government is quite aware about that. In other way, like I said, we have a very good media at the moment. If there is information and government is not taking any actions, media will take action. So in that case, we have a very, open media system. That's why it is going to be a pressure for the government. So after we make this network, we connected all the villages with this internet, and we get, like I said, we can provide all the services, the city to the rural area. So, and then we started the data recording and reporting systems. So this is the third effort that we did, that the reporting and the recording that strengthen the government health systems. So that's why what we are doing that, like as for the tracking the pregnant mother, tracking the vaccines, which child has been immunized, what vaccine has been done, and when the vaccine have to be given. We have, as per the protocol, within 1 year, the child have to receive the BCG. But, what is the definition of BCG? BCG should be given within the 24 hours of birth. If there is a long time, there is a chances of exposing for disease. But, so that's why it's not like as per the government rule, we have to depend up to 1 year. But we have to provide them soon after the delivery, soon after the birth. So what we make a system that we educated to the health worker. You have to keep BCG, at least just keeping one small freeze, the cold chain box in their health post. If they can keep for up to 1 month, then in any time when they have a delivery in their birthing center, they can provide the BCG. So they should not have to wait for next 1 month. So in that way, we are providing the BCG and other vaccine. And another problem is we have a very huge 96% wastage in the BCG. Because we have a 20 dose comes in a 1 vial. And in the village, we have a very small populations. And people have been, the people, okay, I want to go to next month. I just want to, because I don't have friend. I have to walk for 3 hours with a small kid, with a small baby, infant baby carrying. So I will wait for another woman. So I will have a friend, I will go to next month. So that's why there is a BCG, and as per the constitutions, the vaccine is rights. So when one mother come with their infant babies, we have to open the BCG vaccine and we have to give it. And 19 doses is lost. It's a wastage. So to reduce that one, what we did, we are tracking where are the number of babies has been born, because we already tracked the pregnant mother. That's why we have it. So after that, we can, okay, this is the area. Now this is a good point for the vaccinator. They can walk to around the village and they can provide the vaccine. This has decreased the wastage of vaccine. If we can decrease just 5% of wastage, we can save $1 million rupees. $1 million that we can save. So that's why we have focused on how we can reduce the wastage. So from these things, that what we learn is from Nepal, that first we have to build the projects. I think there was a questions this morning also. We have a lot of questions about this project building, and just before some of participation from remote, they have asked about how to build the projects. So when we are building the projects, let's take a time to understand the problems. We might have hundreds of bold ideas, but might not be enough. From out of 100 ideas, let's understand, let's take up time to review those problems, redesign, and then innovate the tools. That might be software, that might be hardware, and at first, we have to educate the beneficiaries rather than to develop in the laboratory. First, educate the beneficiaries, and once beneficiaries are empowered, they can demand you the technology. So you need to create the demand side. You need to empower the demand side. So during this process, never forget to include, never forget to participate the beneficiaries as well as the local government, local health worker during this process. If you participate this, since from the starting phase, they will feel the ownership, and you will not have to run away after the ending of fund, because you need to make an important part of the projects, important part of their daily works. You know, the health worker are government officials. They are paid by government for 10 to 5. They come at 10, they return back to home at 5. You know, they have to stay in a health post. But if we make their work easy, they will feel, okay, this is for us. And if we involve them during the collection of requirement, if we involve them during the implementations, during the discussing of before implementing the project, even we can discuss them since from the concept building. Okay, what sort of idea will be good? So the brainstorming session should be start from the community who need it. And they might think, okay, the technology which is coming to my village, I have given input. That's why it is coming to my village. So people will have a ownership, the feel ownership. So that is the first things that Amakomaya has been doing since last 2004. So every project which we design, this is designed by the community, not us. We are just, what we are doing, we are just making a chemical, just mixing a chemical, but they are giving the inputs. All the health worker, all the mothers, all the fathers, all the community members, they are giving the inputs about their need. And then we design the projects. And then the thing is that always, regarding the M-Health, in Nepal, we have 65 initiatives in M-Health. But most of them are in the state of closing. They are in a very big problem because they were all supported by donor agencies. They were supported for some time period. So in that case, and some projects that has been developed the application in abroad, and donor agencies, they want to come to test the applications, and they are not checking whether it is matching with the national policy or not. If we are using the M-Health, there is a lot of things that we need to consider about the IT policy. Data security, data management, data hosting, data privacy, and also data ownership, data sharing protocols, and also whenever the government is doing, the government has been doing last 100 of years, the government has been practicing the system in the paper-based system. And in the ad hoc way, they are sharing this data in the government, other government part. For example, health facilities, they are sharing data to the local government. And if you are developing the soft system, which is not shared with the local government, how you can sustain? So you need to look after the policies. What is how government is using it, and where this data needs. So that's why we need to recheck policies. And there are some areas, there are some gray areas. Even government also not clearly mentioning that we need this data here. You need to find out this gray area. This data has been used by this department. This data has been used by this department. If we show and if we provide that login interface to them, they will be happy. And there will be no any questions from the government. That we did it in 2009. We provided the health facilities. We knew that the health facility data there is a vital registration. That actually the vital registration happened in the local government, in the ward office. How they are doing, that is not doing the officially, that when some mother give birth in the health facilities and the health worker is unofficially, it's not official, unofficially give the information to the local government that she has given a birth, then local government person contact her and do the vital registration. This is the system. But what we did that once the mother is pregnant and get a baby, the data is automatically gone to the local government. And they said, oh, awesome. We get the information. It's a valid information signed by the health worker. That's a valid. The vital registration is on place. So even there is they have to calculate they have to make a national plan, national 1-year plan. At that time also local government is involved. But most of the mHealth application, we are working with the public health worker. We are not working with the politicians. We are not working with the local government. We are not working with the local community leaders who need the data. So we need to identify to whom we need to work, to where those data needs to travel. And then we have to check the policies. And then sometime you might need to work for example, the frequency. The frequency is the national issue. You know, you have to deal with the Ministry of Communications. If you want to connect to far away 100 kilometers, you need to get ISM band 2.4 gigahertz does not work. You need to go for next 5.7 gigahertz. In that time, you need to purchase the license, and that is costly. You can justify the government, we need a license, and this has made our project cost. Then government, you know, government is a thing that they are very, very tradition. But once you provide everything very clearly, transparently, and if there is no your interest, then they will provide you license. And we got the license. Even we got the WiMAX license free of cost. We got the WiMAX, and we provided that WiMAX network in the high altitude of mountain Himalaya. So if we make the government to include there and concerned partners, we were doing the mHealth projects, but it is only related with the Ministry of Health. It is not related with the Ministry of Science and Technology or Ministry of Communication. But it is the policy. We have to go there. So we have to find out. Then another most important thing is that every time, every day, or every month, every year, we have to share our experience, our everything, as a data to the concerned government. Most of things that we are doing the projects, we are always obedient to the donor agencies. We are always submitting the report to the donor agencies because we are getting the money. But I have not seen most of the projects they are not submitting report to the government. In parallel, they have to submit the report to the government, and what is the benefit is government is getting, and what is the cost reduction from the government side. If we give these things, and we really can get the support from the government. And after that, once we complete this stage, now the thing is that replicating. You can replicate as per your organization size. If you are a big company, you can manage it, and you can replicate which is comfortable to you manage, and display the data for the decision makers, for the national government, and at the end that we need to present this data because we should not stop there. We should not stop there. We need to connect with the academia, with the scientists, so there will be new avenues will be open, and all other partners will be coming. So that's why the more important thing is that, you know, what we are saying about the benchmarking, branding, and these things. It's, I think, regarding the small initiative. For the small initiative, there is a small fund. The small organization is doing that initiative, they have a less fund. In that case, if you try to brand by yourself, if you try to benchmark by yourself, you will be alone in the highway. But if you brand together with all the stakeholders, and there will be huge people behind you, and they will support to you. So that's why this is the things that Nepal has been doing in Amakomaya project. So right now, we started in 2010, this Amakomaya project in the Android app. We started in 2010 with the aim of delivering the content. Then we improved the infrastructure. We built a wireless network, connected more than 300 villages, and then build the network, and we share the ownership to the government. At first, we share the ownership to the Child Health Division because it is the role of Child Health Division. They have to do these things, and we are doing that one. So that's why we share. We have given the application to Child Health Division. We have shown them the result, and we told them this is your result, this is your task, and you have to do this. And we provided the data to the concern, like as HMIS department, local government, and replicate this project to the local government, like as a village development committee, municipality. And right now, we doesn't need the donor agencies. because the local government has made their policy that they have to allocate budget for Amakomaya app. They have to budget for purchasing device. They have to allocate the budget. They have to. They have written in policy that in every year they have to purchase this number of tablets. They have to purchase like as internet bandwidth, and this is funded by themselves. And where is our role? The Amakomaya is we focus on improving the technology. Because initially we were the software development company. So now we are coming. We started from the software. We traveled some long way. We have handover to the system. Now we are in our own original state. Our responsibility is finding out optimized system. So we should not have to focus about how to mobilize the community, how to connect the systems, how to find the donor agencies. We should not have to concern about those things. Now this is all the things goes to the government. So in that way, right now that we have prepared the guideline. This morning we have a very good discussion about standardizations. So now anyone, health facilities, anyone local government, if they want to implement Amakomaya, they must have to follow the standard guideline. And that guideline clearly mentioned that the data privacy, data standard, coding is standard, and they can change that. This, like as Amakomaya is the just only name. They can change the project name by themselves. It's not, they should not have to brand or attach with the Amakomaya. They can make, like as Amakomaya is the name, like as in Nepali language, it's a mother's love. It can be changed. You can make it father's love. You can make it child loves. So because we don't want to bind it in our brand, so we gave it to metropolitan municipality so they can brand by themselves, and we are in the behind. We are in the behind. We are now totally focusing on the supporting of the technology. So now for the project, we doesn't need any donor agencies. It might, maybe metropolitan will need. They will ask to the central government. They have enough budget too. They can manage it, but our guideline clearly mention that this is the way that you have to work. This is the way that you have to share the data. This is the way that you have to maintain the standard of the applications. In that way, we completed and we did it. So thank you very much for listening me. If you have any questions, please.